Hello everyone, thanks for joining me for another one of my videos. We're breaking off from looking at the A to Z of music that I like, that I've been doing, as we need to talk about a new book that's come out about tales from topographic oceans. So this is not just a book on yes, it's specifically about tales, and this is it. So it's called Tales from Topographic Oceans, the Yes Album Listening Guide. It's by Kevin Mulrain, and it's a right old meaty beast. There have obviously been loads and loads of books written that sort of cover tales. I've just pulled a few out from my shelf. Just an example. It's that one, 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 just about covered it, that one. Then I've got all the magazines that featured it. So these are just ones that have sort of covered tales within the sort of looking at yes over the years. So you know, it's been quite written about, and people have approached it from all sorts of different angles. I suppose the more serious types of books have tried to do an interpretation, tried to do an explanation, and really all you can say is that there's been so much written about it that you wondered really what else could be said about it. I've actually written about it myself, but just purely a personal thing which I did just for myself really. I'm not a writer, so I can't sort of really think about doing a book, although I'd love to do one. My vision of a book would be kind of something about that size, with lots and lots of glossy pictures, and a lot of blurb about the tracks and the music, rather than necessarily delving into the behind the scenes, if you like. Well, what this does, it's quite an incredible achievement, because it does deal with the music, but I would say it's probably somewhere around there before, maybe even a bit further along, before it really starts to look at the music in any detail. But what you've got, and it does look at the music in some detail, you've got every bit of background information and factoid that you could ever wish to have, but it's not done in a frivolous way. I mean, the studios that they recorded at, how they chose those studios, how they came to be at those studios, it's all done in almost a forensic approach, but as I say, it's not done in a sort of a boring way. And Kevin's a brilliant writer, and he writes quite straightforwardly. His prose style is very easy to read, and there's not a hint of pretension in anything that he says or writes. So you're off to a brilliant start, because it's just a refreshing, objective, if you like, approach to the subject matter. But what is also done is brought in expert writers with real knowledge and intense love for the album and the music, to give their own statements, and their own, also research that they've done on various parts of it. I mean, there's so much here that you will not have known. And I don't want to say any of the things, because you've got to buy the book basically. But I mean, all the pictures inside are black and white, so there's no colour imagery. and I suppose if anything you could say that it's slightly let down by that. But it's not there to do that. It's not a sort of coffee table thing that just looks nice. It's an informative, detailed piece of research, but presented in a really readable and entertaining way. I'm the first to be critical, as you know, of things to do with Yes that I think have kind of either missed the point or completely over-egg the pudding, or I mean, particularly with Tales, I'm not happy when people slag it off or criticise it, and there's elements of Chris Welch's writings about it that annoy me slightly, and certainly some of the writings, even by the clever people, if you like, I find a sort of they're less than enlightening, and they're really not seeing the point of the music. So I think from Tales fan point of view, from the point of view of a Tales fan who first of all loves the album, loves the music, you've got to have the book. You've got to simply have the book. Just flicking through it again, I was going to try and write some notes to try and refer to some notes, but I thought, well, in the end, I don't want to be reading off notes. I've just got to give you an overall feeling for it. I mean, there was a time when I was thinking, at what point are we going to start really dealing with the tracks themselves and the music as it comes over? But it does deal with it, and again, it's not telling you what it means. It's not telling you what you should get from it. It's not telling you anything like that. It's a completely objective but celebration of the music. So those that have been brought in to write about it are clearly supporters of the album, and it will say that there are potential places where you could be critical of it, but honestly, it's genuinely a great read, and I'm so glad to have it, because we've needed something like this about Tales, because it is such an important album in the history of recorded rock music that I've said it before. There will never be another Tales from Topographic Oceans. There will never be another band with the sufficient talent and kind of well, what can you say? Just at the right time to have that level of input, and to be painstakingly working at it to make sure it's right. And they did get it right, and I will always defend it to the hilt. As far as the photographs and the images that are in here, if you do get the if I can find it, the colour supplement, this effectively has colour versions of the photographs and pictures that are in the book, or some of them anyway. So these are in colour, so it's quite nice to have these. I mean, if I can show you these scenes from the studio, there's photographs in here that have never been published to my mind before when they were recording it. Fantastic photographs. As I say, in the book, being black and white, they don't quite come over as well, but it's just wonderful. Funny enough, I just turned the page at the mini Moog. There's a fascinating section on the mini Moogs and the Mellotrons, and how they were developed and what they did to, in the end, get the equipment and the instruments to how they needed to be. And it's just wonderful. It's just wonderful. So yeah, I needed to say my piece on it, really, for what it's worth. And There's a lovely picture of Steve there. That's from the Rainbow Theatre. Look at that lovely photograph there. So it's a great thing, and even if Topographic isn't really your thing, but you're still a Yes fan, it's an essential read, because it just deals with how Yes were approaching their music and all the things that were going on in the background. I mean, the detail on the instrumentation is incredible, and then when it gets to the music, the amount of detail on the sort of chordal sequences and the actual nitty-gritty of the tracks is again some very interesting information there that I hadn't been aware of. Some of it's quite technical. I mean, you've got tables of things, but as I say, the text is still really enjoyable read. So my recommendation is that you seek out this book, and I don't think anybody will be disappointed. And certainly all the comments that you see on Facebook and social media, they're all very positive and very excited to get it, to be honest. So I need to say that I put my special t-shirt on. I only bring this out for special occasions, and this is certainly one of those. So thanks for watching, and we're back to normal service soon.